In a quiet green town on the edge of England, there stood a small but beautiful hospital. Its walls were covered with climbing ivy, and in front of it lay a large garden where birds sang every morning. In this hospital worked a young doctor named Amelia. She was not only beautiful, but her smile was like a ray of sunlight entering a dark room. She spoke to her patients as if they were her own family. Her voice was soft, her manner was calm, and her heart was full of love for everyone. She lived in a small but charming house at the foot of a hill just outside the town. Beside her house flowed a river, its water clear and blue, sparkling in the sunlight. Over the river stood an old but beautiful bridge with gentle waves passing beneath it. On both sides of the bridge stood large trees, their branches leaning over the water as if embracing the river. When the wind blew, the leaves rustled and their shadows danced on the water. It was a scene so beautiful that anyone would stop to admire it. Amelia often sat on that bridge, reading a book or listening to the sound of the river. She would say, "This river clears my mind." Her house was simple but fragrant, roses outside, the smell of wood inside, and old photographs on the walls that told stories of her family. She drank her tea from porcelain cups, arranged her books in a large wooden shelf, and at night she would sit by the window and watch the moon. But one day, a patient came into her life who changed everything. She was a very old woman with a face that looked as if some ancient disease had sunk its claws into it. Her eyes were deep and lifeless, her wrinkles so deep that the features of her face had faded. She wore a black cloak and her steps had no strength. When she entered the clinic, a strange coldness spread through the room. She sat before Dr. Amelia and said, "Change my face, do surgery. I am tired of my appearance." Amelia replied, "This is not my field, I cannot do this." She ignored the woman, gave her no guidance, made no effort to understand her pain. The old woman became filled with rage. She stared at Amelia and gave her a curse that was chilling to hear. Then she rose and left, but she left behind a strange silence and a heavy presence. From that day, Amelia's life began to change. She started having nightmares at night, her mood became dark, and she began to feel as if a stranger was present in her own home. When she sat by the river, she would see a face in the water. When she stood on the bridge, she would feel someone watching her. She became silent, distant from her patients, and a stranger to herself. Then she met William. He was young, kind, and his smile seemed to try to bring back the lost light in Amelia. They married, and she moved into his ancestral home located on a hill surrounded by dense forests with the same river flowing on the other side. The house was very old. Its walls were covered with ancient paintings, its rooms were large but silent, and there was a smell as if something very old was still alive there. The first days were good, but soon the same old things began again. At night, doors would open after being locked, footsteps would be heard in the hallway, and she began to feel a distance even from her husband. Then one night, she saw the old woman in her dreams smiling at her. Amelia told her husband, but he laughed and said, "It is all in your mind." But Amelia knew it was not. She knew she had made a mistake by ignoring the old woman. One night, she went into the old room of the house, knelt down and prayed. She asked for forgiveness from herself, from the old woman, and from the power she did not understand. She spoke to her husband, reached out to her family, and began to take control of her life again. Slowly, the old light returned. She began to sit on the bridge again to meet her